Hey, what's going on? Chad here, and I'm making this video a quick response to a phrase that atheists often quote towards the Christian. It's a phrase by Karl Marx, and it goes like this. It says that religion is the opium of society. And just to give you a little bit of a backdrop, the concept behind this is that religion is a sort of spiritual narcotic that the believer has in order to numb their minds. It's their little escape from reality. It's just something that's illusory and helps them to basically cope and console with the difficulties that happen in the world. What I'd like to point out is that such a comment like that, such a phrase, really is two-edged, and it fires back on the atheist quite quickly. And I'll give you guys some examples of how atheism fits into this template quite well. And it could be well said that atheism is the opium of society. So why don't we go ahead, check this out, take the fangs out of this comment that the atheists often use, and put atheism under the same scrutiny that they put Christianity under with such a phrase. For the atheists, hey, are there not excellent reasons out there for them to hope that there is not a God? I mean, do they not have a hope that there is a final day of judgment? There are motives out there for the atheists to believe that there is no God. I could see why such thinking is so wishful in the eyes of an atheist. They want freedom, if you think about it. They want freedom from accountability. They want freedom from any type of moral objectivity. They want freedom from any type of an objective right, objective wrong. They want freedom to be able to fulfill their own erotic passions with no guilt whatsoever. I mean, in today's society, we have it set up to where we have a bunch of peeping toms that are staring at pixels on a screen, completely degrading human value. I mean, that's really what it is. When they're looking at pornography, all they're doing is peering through a window of pixels, and they completely degrade human value. So I could see why the atheists would want to numb their mind with this wishful thinking that there is no God and that there is no final day of judgment. So atheism is the opium of society. Now, I can imagine that there's a lot of atheists right now that are probably getting pretty red in the face and upset with these things that I'm saying. And they probably disagree with me. But before you disagree with me, just hold your breath for a second and listen to one of atheism's own. This fella is Aldous Huxley, another atheist, great mind, free thinker, whatever you want to call him, hailed by the atheist community. And this is what Aldous Huxley says in his book, Ends and Means. Here's some motives here for atheism. Aldous Huxley says in this book, I wanted to believe the Darwinian idea. I chose to believe it, not because I think there was enormous evidence for it, nor because I believe it had the full authority to give interpretations to my origins, but he says in his book, Ends and Means, I chose to believe it because it delivered me from trying to find meaning, and it freed me to my own erotic passions. Wow. That one you'll have to take up with Aldous Huxley, not me. Remember, that's one of atheism's own. That's one of atheist's own free thinkers there. Finally, I'd like to drive the point home with a quote from a Nobel Prize winner. He's a Polish man by the name of Milausz. Here's a man that was bullied under Nazism and then Stalinism. And he writes in his essay, it's titled The Discreet Charm of Nihilism. And he says this, religion, opium of the people, to those suffering pain, humiliation, illness, and sufferdom, it promised a reward in the afterlife. And now we are witnessing a transformation. A true opium of the people is a belief in nothingness after death. The huge solace of thinking that for our betrayals, greed, cowardice, murders, we are not going to be judged. The Marxist creed has now been inverted. The true opium of modernity is the belief that there is no God, so that humans are free to do precisely as they please. Now, does that not sound a whole lot like Aldous Huxley? He wanted to be freed so that he could fulfill his own erotic passions. Atheism is the opium of society. And I'll tell you what, they're not going to be able to escape the accountability of God, a holy and just God, on that final day of judgment. So, atheists out there, hey man, just drop the pride, humble yourself before God, realize that you're going to be accountable for Him. And God came here to suffer on your behalf. God is holy and God is just, and He's going to judge sin. You don't have to take the hit though. Christ takes the hit on the cross. The wages of sin is death. We all deserve to go to hell. But what did God do? He sent His Son into the world to be payment for that sin, so that He could legally free you. He could legally dismiss your case. All you got to do is turn from your sin, drop the pride, humble yourself there before God, and put your faith and trust in Christ. Thanks for listening, guys.